This weekend are the San Diego regionals for Pokemon, and it's going to be the first time that we're seeing Scarlet and Violet in actual like live in-person competitions. Today we're going to be talking about some of the stuff to expect, some of the teams you might see, and overall just kind of give you my thoughts about the tournament. So Scarlet and Violet have been out for a couple months now, and when it first came out we all kind of thought like Paradox Pokemon were going to be legal, and then they announced that it was like no Paradox Pokemon, no legendaries, nothing like that was allowed, just the standard, Paldea Dex, and it really kind of changed up how teams were built. We've seen a lot of like core Pokemon being used on different teams, and it seems like as of lately Dondozo is definitely the most dominating one, so I do expect to see a lot of Dondozo this weekend. So as I said, this tournament will be taking place this weekend on Saturday and Sunday. On Saturday you see it starts off early in the morning, Sunday same thing. I believe Saturday is probably going to be like the majority of the tournament, and I would assume Sunday is kind of like moving into Top Cut and stuff like that, but it seems like Saturday is going to be the kind of the big day. So I do want to go over some of the popular Pokemon that we've seen in the format. We do have a list here of the most popular, like the highest placing teams from this past season, since it did just end a couple days ago. So we're gonna kind of look through it a little bit here and kind of give you my thoughts. So up here is like the rank 1 team, and then if you see the Pokeballs here, that means like the team is not there basically. Right away you notice a lot of blue on the screen. It is a lot of Dondozo, and I think we're gonna see a lot of this weekend, a lot of mirror matches. I think we're gonna see some interesting stuff though. I think there's a lot of Pokemon that are like viable in this format that we haven't maybe seen, and I think people are gonna really pull out some strategies that haven't been out there, that they've kind of been saving for this actual regional tournament. So it's gonna be really interesting to see how people counter Dondozo. It's definitely a Pokemon that you have to be prepared for. If your team's not ready for it, it will just sweep your team. So you definitely got to be ready for it for sure. That being said, I do think like the final matchup is definitely going to have a Dondozo team, and I think it might actually be against somebody that doesn't run Dondozo. So it'll be interesting to see if it can actually pull it off and win the first tournament. And obviously with Dondozo comes Tatsugiri, which is actually a really strong Pokemon on its own. You can give it a Choice Scarf and just spam Icy Wind, spam Muddy Water. It's got Draco Meteor, Dragon Pulse, so overall really good Pokemon. It's obviously very frail, so you have to use it very situationally, but it definitely pairs up well with Dondozo, of course. Another very popular Pokemon is of course Meowscarada. I feel like lately I've been running into it everywhere. It's just a really good Pokemon to lead with. It does have access to U-turn. Knockoff is always a strong move just to get rid of items too, and it does also have that hidden ability which makes it very strong. So I do plan to see a lot of Meowscarada. It's interesting that this top team right here has like Baxcalibur and Volcarona. I definitely think Volcarona is the more popular out of the two, so I do expect to see some Volcarona. As far as Baxcalibur goes, I don't expect to see it too much. I don't think it's a Pokemon that like is very relevant in the format. It's a good Pokemon, don't get me wrong, but a lot of people just aren't really using it right now. Kind of the standard stuff I expect to see, of course, like I said, Dondozo strategy, we of course have that. I think every team is basically going to have like a Garchomp, a Dragonite, or a Hydreigon. You kind of just pick a dragon, whichever one you want. And then of course another Pokemon which I haven't seen up here, I don't see it until down here at the 12 slot, is Annihilate. I think Annihilate is one of the best Pokemon in this format. A very strong Pokemon, obviously pairs up well with Mousehold. This right here is like a very, very standard team, with the exception of like Torkoal and Sylveon. You don't see as much, but I feel like these four right here, like I always run into this team with like 1 or 2 minor changes, you know what I mean? So I think those are Pokemon we're definitely going to see a lot of. I've been seeing a lot more Sand too. I think Sand teams are starting to become more popular. Sun teams aren't really that popular anymore, I don't think. Rain, you're starting to see a little bit more. It's still kind of like finding its place, not the best kind of weather, I don't think. I think out of the weather teams, we'll definitely see Sand the most. And that's kind of my prediction for this weekend. I guess it's not anything too crazy. I definitely expect to see lots of Dondozo, like I said, but I really think some people are going to pull out some interesting strategies. I feel like this format is very flexible. There's a lot of things that are viable, so I'm really hoping we see some creativity, and I look forward to watching the stream. It is kind of unfortunate because they did just announce the change in the format already taking place next month. They're going to add Paradox Pokemon, so I feel like a lot of Pokemon are going to kind of fall off. Some more Pokemon might start to become more viable, but when you introduce those Paradox Pokemon, like it's gonna be crazy. Because I remember like when people were building teams before the format was announced, like there were certain Paradox Pokemon that were just insane. So again, make sure you watch the streams this weekend. They will be streaming it over on Twitch, as you can see here, Pokemon VG. Definitely go check it out, watch some games, see how it's going. And like I said, the championship stuff is going to be on Sunday, so definitely look forward to looking at that, and go ahead and support the event by watching the streams and everything. I am looking forward to the next regional. I would love to actually go to it. I don't think that's going to happen, but we'll see. I think the next regional is in Orlando, and that's going to be the first week of February, I believe. So it is about a month away or so. But I'm looking forward to watching this and kind of like doing an overview of the teams maybe afterwards, kind of talking about which teams did well, which teams did bad, and what that kind of means moving forward. So we'll definitely kind of recap that after the event. If you want more VGC news or you just like Pokemon content, definitely hit the subscribe button and leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Let me know what your thoughts are on the regional. If you're watching this after it occurs or kind of like while it's going on, definitely let me know what your thoughts are on the teams that are doing well, the teams that are doing bad, all that kind of stuff. Hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one.